I made $2,040 in 5 minutes using the easiest beginner scalping strategy of all time. I taught this strategy 2 years ago. The video has over 200,000 views and it still works. Just look at every single one of these comments. There were thousands of people telling me this is the best strategy ever. Now, I've been using this again for the past week to make over $10,000 with an average trade length of just 16 minutes. This is fast, the results are amazing, and I'll show you the full performance in detail a bit later. But first, let me teach you the strategy in full right now, and let's make some money. The foundation of this trading strategy is the moving average. If you haven't used a moving average before, just come up to indicators, type EMA, and click moving average. This moving average right here shows us the closing price of the last 25 candles, and it makes it very clear the direction the trend is going in. But for today's strategy, we're actually using 3 moving averages, and this is really powerful. We have a 25, a 50, and a 100. The green's the short term, the red's the medium, and the blue is the long-term trend. You can see as I play this out that these are starting to separate, and this is very, very powerful. When we get the expansion and the separation of these 3 moving averages, we get really easy winning trade opportunities. That's because there's 3 main purposes of the moving average: identify the trend, identify trend change, and then using the moving average as support or resistance. Right here, we'd be using it as support, giving us an easy trade opportunity with the price pushing up and smashing our take profit for a huge win in less than 10 minutes. This is simply using trend continuation and pullbacks to win huge trades. And now that you already know the basics, let's get into the specifics of this strategy, and let me start by showing you a trade that I won $2,000 on in just 6 minutes this week. Now, the first thing I want you to do is come up and set M1, because this is a beginner scalping strategy, which means we're in the market quick and we're out of the market quick. So let's take a look at the chart right here, and what are we looking at, right? Price is pushing up. We're starting to get that separation of these 3 bands right here. These are the moving averages. We want to see that separation. We want to see that distance in between each of the moving averages growing. As I continue to play this out, we get our pullback. But before the pullback, I want to make sure that we have all our candles above the green EMA, right? We want to see a bunch of candles right here before we get our pullback. That's the second step. And the third step, of course, is this pullback. The good thing about this is we're getting the price at a discount, right? You don't want to buy right here. You want to see the price come back to a level. You never want to buy at the top, right? You want to see the price pull back and then hit that trend continuation. So the pullback can come to the blue band here or the red band here. If the price blows through the blue band here, we don't place the trade. It's that simple. Now, where do we enter the trade? We enter the trade when the price pushes up and closes above our 25 EMA. That's the green one right here. So that's my entry right there. As for my stop loss, you can see my stop loss. I have it below the red band right here. You could have it below a wick as well. It could be below this wick. I'm generally just putting it below the red band. That's the 50 period moving average. Now, at this point, I'm in the trade. Price pushes up and I smash my take profit for over $2,000. Now, let's continue on to see what we would be doing in this situation in the live markets, right? You can see right here from the top to the bottom here was a pullback of about 14 pips. That's a nice pullback. You can see from the top to the bottom right here, it's about 14 pips again. You could see on this one, we pull back right here. So I would be entering a trade position right here, right? The green candle closing above my green band. And I would put my stop loss pretty much where it is right there. And my target, I'm always targeting about 1.5. You can see right there, 1.5. And then I'm going to play this one out. And you can see on this trade, I would have smashed my take profit right here as well. Now let's continue to play this out and see what would we continue to do. Well, we have another trade opportunity right here, right? We've got our pullback right here, but I want to show you something specific, right? Let's pull back right here. This is about 6 pips, okay? This pullback right here was 14 pips. This pullback was 14 pips. This pullback was only 6 pips, and we're starting to see these bands really starting to close together here. So if I play this trade out right here, you could say, hey, maybe you should place your trade right there, right? I'd have my stop loss right here. I'd have my take profit at 1.5. 1.5. And if we play this trade out, I would actually lose that trade position, but I wouldn't place this trade. Why? Why wouldn't I place this trade? Well, look, if we scroll out a little bit here, you could see we had the pullback of 14, right? We had the pullback of 14. Now we're getting a pullback of just 6. That's starting to tell us the trend is losing strength here. We had huge push-ups here. We had huge push-ups here. And we're also starting to see the bands getting tighter and tighter and tighter, right? This is telling us that this is the type of trade we want to avoid. This trade I didn't even take, but I could have won for another $2,000. And this trade right here, I definitely wouldn't have taken because the bands are getting too close and it's just not a good trade opportunity. Now, if we look at my FX book from the last week, you could see I had a ton of wins here. It was a fantastic week, but I only showed you a single buy trade. If you look here, most of the trades I placed this week were actually sell positions. So let me show you how you could do this with one of my live sell trades. Now, before I show you how to ride a downtrend like a pro using this beginner scalping strategy, know that I do have a free trading room where I send one free signal every single week, and the link to that is in the description. We've got over 60,000 people in there, so join, get some free trades. Now let's get back to making some money here, okay? So we're starting to push down here, and you can see we're getting trade opportunities. I didn't take these, okay, but we have to take a look at this strategy. You can see the bands are starting to separate as we're starting to push into a downtrend. At this point right here, we have ourselves a pullback, and we would get ourselves an entry at this position right here. Stop loss right there. We'd put our take profit, what, at 1.5? We already would have won that trade. Let's continue on and see what's going on. Well, look, we're getting more pullbacks. Perfect. This is a nice pullback all the way from here to up here. That's a good looking pullback right there. Look, we've got our entry right here. Perfect. What do we want? We want our stop loss somewhere around here. You might want to put this one right there above these recent wicks because it's only a couple of pips. And then we're looking for a 1.5 risk reward ratio. Play that trade out and win that one as well. And we continue on over and over and over again. We go. We're just riding this trend, baby. And now we have my first trade. Okay, so I picked up this trade a little late, and that's fine. This is 1 minute scalping, so this shit happens really, really fast. You've got to be on your toes, but you're gonna miss trades. That's absolutely fine. So what happens, right? We're getting great separation of these three bands right here. The price is clearly below the bands like crazy right here, and then we get our pullback and we get our push down. That's where I enter my trade. Let's go ahead and play that trade out. You can see here, smash my take profit, easy money, made myself about $700 on this position right here. And let's continue this going, right? This is how we're doing it. We had a couple of opportunities right here. I didn't take those opportunities, but I could have. And then I had my pullback right here, band separating, price below my green line right here. We get the pullback right there. I enter at the red candle right there. Let's play this sucker out. And you can see here, it smashes my take profit very, very quickly. Now let's continue this on just to show you what continues to happen here. So this is what I was telling you about right here. You could see we have the bands starting to come together, but look, the price comes up and the pullback breaks through the blue, right? It breaks through our long-term trend. That means we're not taking any more trades here, and you could see why. These are starting to combine, and that's fine. That means it's time for us to move on. Let's take a look at these results again. And look, there were 13 trades. I won 10 of those trades, but that means there were 3 losses. So let's check in on one of those losses and see what I could have done differently. So it's a pretty obvious mistake. If you come over here, you can see price was trading in a range for this whole period right here. Now, if we go back, we had a pretty good trend here. Look, we had separation right here. We had a pullback right here. That's an entry. That's a winning trade right there. But then what starts to happen? These bands are starting to get closer together, closer together. We're no longer seeing a trading opportunity until we come over here. But what I did right here is I jumped the gun too early. Look, if I pull back to this area right here, you can see this trend is just starting. These bands are still really, really close together. I'm not giving time for this trend to breathe. Sure, I get a pullback right there. I decide to enter the trade right there. And what happens? This trade goes against me and I actually lose money. That's the last thing you want to have happen when using this strategy. But really, I was just jumping the gun. We were barely getting separation from these bands. And that's a big mistake, right? If we go back over here, look at the separation we're starting to get, right? We're getting huge separation. We get a pullback. It's clean. The price pushes up. We win that trade. I jumped the gun right there. The bands were too tight. It didn't make sense and I lost the trade. But in my long-term backtest using this strategy, you could see here I won 95 and lost 23 trades. That's an 80% win rate. So you can trust this strategy. And in my P&L calendar for just the last week, you could see here we had a huge week, only 1 losing day, 4 winning days for a profit of 80%, which is exactly in line with that back test here in my live trading account. Now, if you want to trade this strategy, you need a really good broker, and the broker I use is Fintura. This is where I'm doing all of my trading in 2024. The spreads are low, the commissions are low, and it's just a great place to trade on MetaTrader, and registration is absolutely free, so click the link in the description now. I just want to say, if you like this easy beginner scalping strategy, please smash the like button. It helps my channel out. Leave a comment, tell me what you want to see next. Subscribe, consider joining my VIP trading room, consider joining my free trading room. Both are available in the description. To continue to learn, watch this video right here. Definitely watch this video right here, and I'll be back next week. Much love.